right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Well, it's another Sunday, and we're talking about an above-average week. What that means for us, how warm we'll get this week, and how long we can continue this trend.
Phony police cruisers. If you've been pulled over by these two cars, investigators want to talk to you. First tonight, a family's desperate search for a missing woman. Now the mother of a high-profile missing persons case is helping them spread the word.
Missing is missing. Everybody is somebody's baby.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush. 33-year-old Shalonda Webb was last seen at a St. Louis rehab facility 3 weeks ago. 5 on Your Side's Laura Barczewski spoke with the family, now deeply concerned she may be in danger.
Just 2 months before her 34th birthday, family of Shalonda Webb say she disappeared from a St. Louis rehab facility, Queen of Peace Center in the Central West End.
You are not supposed to be able to leave the property at, I think it's 72 hours, and they allow her to walk out the facility on camera, and nobody tried to stop her.
Her cousin Erica says the mom of 4 was last seen on October 20th.
She was last seen with braids, wearing joggers and a blue t-shirt that has Queen of Peace writing on it.
The family says she's 4 feet 11 inches tall, roughly 125 pounds, and has a mask tattoo on her neck. One of the latest tips to the family says she was seen outside of the guest host motel on Grand, the details only making them worry more.
And they told us that she was last seen getting in a car, a van, a gray van with Illinois plates, and she was not very coherent. So we believe that she's under the influence and that someone has her, and we need help to find her.
The family is leaning on Theda Wilson and her nonprofit Looking for an Angel that helps in missing persons cases. Her drive comes from searching for her missing son, Christian Ferguson. The 9-year-old disappeared 20 years ago and was never found. Wilson's ex-husband was convicted of the boy's murder last year.
I don't know where my child's remains are, but I still feel the pain that these families go through because I've lived through it. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's one reason why I exist, to try to address those circumstances.
Shalonda's brother Darren says the family feels left in the dark by both police and the facility.
Know something. Let us know something. Let us know what you're doing. We don't know what you're doing.
They say it's been hard to carry on knowing she might be in danger.
And then I'm still going to work. I still got to go to work. We got to maintain regular life. We take care of all our children right now, so it's very hard right now.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on Your Side.
If you see Shalonda or have any information on her whereabouts, you're asked to call police. Tonight, a man is in critical condition after a shooting at a South St. Louis gas station. Investigators tell us a man was shot at the Moda Mart near Chippewa and Jefferson. Police have not released a motive or any information on a possible suspect. New tonight, Millstop police are asking for possible victims to come forward after they seized 2 fake police cruisers. Investigators say they arrested a man who has been driving around in a black car and a black SUV equipped with lights, sirens, and fake Illinois State Police license plates. We're told he's facing charges. If you believe you were pulled over by the man driving these cars, again, you are urged to call police. Breaking political news tonight. Just hours ago, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott announced that he's suspending his presidential bid. His decision comes as former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley's popularity has grown in the GOP race. The entire Republican field trails frontrunner Donald Trump in the polls by as much as 40 points. Tonight, pro-Palestinian protesters marched through the Central West End, and at one point, they shut down Kings Highway near Barnes and Children's Hospitals. The Free Palestine demonstration then made its way to the corner of Euclid and Maryland, where men kneeled in prayer in the intersection. The protesters are calling for a ceasefire in Gaza following Hamas attack on Israel. On Meet the Press today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejected calls for a ceasefire, saying it will only be possible if Hamas releases all hostages. He has this message for those protesting on behalf of Hamas.
You're protesting for sheer evil. There are a lot of misguided people out there who don't know the facts. You're talking to people who deliberately targeted civilians, who raped and murdered women, who beheaded men, who burnt babies alive, who kidnapped little babies and Holocaust survivors, you name it.
His comments come after Israel agreed to 4-hour humanitarian pauses in Gaza. Netanyahu says the goal is to eradicate Hamas with as few civilian casualties as possible. A live look at the U.S. Capitol tonight. The clock is ticking towards another government shutdown. Congress has 5 days to pass a new spending plan. New House Speaker Mike Johnson has unveiled a two-part plan that doesn't include funding for Israel and spending cuts some Republicans are calling for. The White House is slamming the proposal, citing opposition from both parties. A St. Louis entrepreneur is using her new shop to help teach teens and young adults on how to go into business. Candace Dorsey opened the doors at 220 Eye Candy Beauty Bar on Manchester and South City yesterday. She's combining her business with her outreach ministry to offer teens training on opening their own spa.
I just want to make sure they could take away something that could help them for the years to come.
10% of sales are donated to fund the program. Dorsey plans to open a bigger space in Hazelwood to offer more classes. Tonight, Oscar buzz is already starting, and it's happening here in St. Louis. 5 on your sides, Andy Crowell takes us to the St. Louis International Film Festival, where the spotlight is on finding solutions for racism.
This is what you get. You get a buildup. It's just a habitat for a lot of unwanted creatures. Rats, rodents, snakes. I can't cut the trees because it's not my problem.
To Los Angeles-based co-director Sarah Newens.
Racist Trees is about a historically black neighborhood in Palm Springs that has been excluded from the rest of what's known as like a very affluent city in California by a row of 60-foot tamarisk trees, which form this barrier and really depress property values and just, kind of segregate this historically black neighborhood from the rest of the city.
With more than 275 films shown at the St. Louis International Film Festival, there are still 9 this upcoming week that are part of the Race in America program.
Knowing some of the history here, I was really excited to show it to a community, to the audience here as well, to see if, certain things might resonate.
In addition to the documentary Racist Trees, which unpacks the segregation in real estate in Palm Springs, local St. Louis filmmakers are hoping that their work here at the St. Louis International Film Festival will provide a helpful backdrop to identify problems and possible solutions surrounding race.
Since the death of Michael Brown, there has been a needed attention to black film and screening them and making them, but there's been a lot of the films that you see are really focused on trauma, and we wanted to change the focus to people making change and heroic stories.
In fact, East St. Louis native Reginald Hudlin, who is an Oscar and Emmy-nominated director and producer, will receive a SLIF Lifetime Achievement Award on Sunday, November 19th. Reporting at Washington University, Andy Crowell, 5 on your side.
About 250 attendees have come to the St. Louis International Film Festival so far. It runs through next Sunday with screenings at the Alamo Drafthouse, Webster University, and the High Point Backlot Theater. The teen yodeling sensation from Foley, Missouri will be back on NBC's The Voice tomorrow night. 16-year-old Ruby Lee is set to perform in the 3-way knockout round. The winner moves on to the playoffs. You can watch Ruby tomorrow night at 7 right here on 5 on your side.
A living legacy.
His fear is that people have just forgotten.
Tonight, a Metro East veteran from the greatest generation shares his remarkable stories so we don't forget. Shutterfly settlement or scam? You may have received an email saying you're owed a refund. Tonight, we verify if it's legit.
Dry conditions continue, but we're starting to creep into that moderate, even severe drought. What that means for the rest of the week, and if we'll find any rain chances over the next 10 days.
Making a Difference is sponsored by Midwest Bank Center.
Now to our Making a Difference report. And on this Veterans Day weekend, a reminder that no one has made more of a difference for all of us than our veterans. And that includes a 99-year-old World War II veteran from Bethalto, Illinois.
And I was in charge of small arms at that time.
A porch in Bethalto, Illinois became a front row seat to history as Bill Copeland's war stories turned family and friends into grateful time travelers.
What they did for us, and God-fearing to boot, and how much they mean to us.
They saved the world.
Yeah, saved the world.
They put him in the galley passageway, which
Copeland, who will turn 100 next year, is a World War II veteran, living on the same farm where his father once planted both seeds and wisdom.
He was big on teaching us that life's not real easy. You got to know how to work.
President Roosevelt said in a statement today,
When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, plunging the U.S. into World War II, he felt an unwavering resolve to join the fight. A year later, his call to duty arrived with his draft papers. A short time after that, he was assigned to the USS Erickson, a destroyer patrolling and escorting other ships off the East Coast. Destroyers, often hailed as the workhorses of World War II, embodied versatility with their anti-air and anti-surface capabilities, and they were instrumental in countering the submarine threat.
We had submarine contacts a lot at night, dropping depth charges and so forth. That's part of the war.
In 1944, the Erickson intercepted a trawler off the coast of France in which the crew of a German sub was attempting to escape. It was Bill's job to guard the prisoners.
I had 46 there, and I got to see some of Hitler's youth. They were part of the crew, and there's one kid there that I bet he won 13.
When the war in Europe was won, Copeland and the USS Erickson pressed forward in the Pacific, ultimately earning the ship 3 well-deserved battle stars and recognition of their steadfast dedication in World War II.
Sit one stripe, that's when you're in boot camp.
After the war, Copeland made his way back to Illinois with a friend.
And we started hitchhiking. And we had both of our money added up to a little over $25.
He was in church when he leaned in and shared a secret with his friend, pointing towards a girl who would become the love of his life.
I said, "Hey, see that little girl?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I think I'll marry her." He said, "Yeah." And that's how I...
And you did.
I did.
He carved a career as a craftsman, fashioning timber into tables and cabinets. But as time wore on, his hands lost their magic touch, and then his heart was broken when he lost his wife Edna in 2017 following a prolonged illness.
She was a good wife. We were together 67 years.
Bill Copeland's stories are a living tribute to the sacrifices made by all our veterans, which is why his recent honor flight journey held such profound significance for him.
His fear is that people have just forgotten. He realized that there are people who love this country and care about it and cared about the sacrifices that were made for them.
When I did go to the ship.
Back on the porch, another reminder that the past for men like Bill Copeland is not just a place we visit. It's a legacy we should honor.
You know, Mike, I've had a wonderful life. I really have.
Bill told me Veterans Day is very meaningful to him because it's nice that people remember him and everybody who served. A reminder, if you know an inspiring person or someone making a difference for others, just let me know by email at mbush@ksdk.com. And speaking of making a difference, a reminder that the nationally televised Musial Awards are set for this coming Saturday at the Stiefel Theater. The Musial Awards honor great moments of kindness and sportsmanship, like what happened to a young man named Cody Dorman, who was born with a rare disorder. Cody became friendly with a Kentucky racehorse that was eventually named Cody's Wish, and the relationship seemed nothing short of magic.
He changed my life forever. I feel different about things now. I'm happier. And he's a really big horse, because I think that God made this happen, and I thank him for that.
We lost Cody just last week, but he got to be there as Cody's Wish won the Breeders' Cup twice. Just one of the stories you'll hear about at the Musials this Saturday, and that's at the Stiefel Theater. Former Cardinals Adam Wainwright will be there too. Tickets are available at musialawards.com. A great day to hit some long balls at Busch Stadium. Today was the last day of Upper Deck Golf. Golfers teed off from the stands at Busch and tried to hit targets onto the field. The annual event raises money for Stand Up to Cancer. Meteorologist Gary Frank joins us now with that weather first forecast on what was a beautiful day in St. Louis, Gary.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get being out there. They're probably still going to be picking out balls by springtime, but it feels kind of like springtime, or at least, you know, late spring, early spring, whatever it may be, because, you know, temps have gone from the mid 80s just days ago to, Even we're above average now, and it's not even dropping that much in the morning. Now, I know the last couple of mornings have been on the cooler side, but we won't see it that much this week. It's evident by right now it hasn't dropped all that much just yet. Temperature's still a little cool overall, but it's 52 degrees. Keep in mind our average high is about 56, 57. You'll see that. 57 degrees our average high, and here we are at 11 o'clock at night, not far from that. We did get to 64, and that's been the key for us, and that's something that we're going to see for the rest of the week. Cloud cover to the south. You'll see that steady stream of moisture from the Gulf, but it really avoids us. The most that cloud cover has gotten into our area, it's starting to stream in just a little bit, but it's going to at least blanket our temperatures just a little bit. It's going to keep us from bottoming out too much. We're in the low 40s in the city for the most part, upper 30s. I wouldn't be surprised to see a few spots, especially in the Metro East side, that don't see some of that cloud cover drop in the mid-30s. You may have a little frost to start your day tomorrow. However, we're going to warm up nicely. Once again, temps are headed for the mid to upper 60s. Right around 70 in Union, Stanton, Gerald, 67 degrees, Pacific. Here in St. Louis County, though, once again, upper 60s for the most part. Ladue, 67, Florissant, North County, Melville, 67. Pretty nice overall on that 55.5 degree average temperature so far. That's the 25th warmest start to November. Every time you think, goodness, it's been so warm, and then you think, you look at last year, our average at this point was 61.3. That was the third warmest during this time. So how long can this go on? Well, it can go on longer. As we look to the north, this is where this cold air is bottled up. Teens, 20s, 30s. That's not all that cold for this time of the year, but it's staying there. That's the key. We're on the warm side. This ridge of high pressure will continue to stay here, and that really dominates our weather. Not only does it keep it dry, but we're on the warm side for the foreseeable future. Look by Wednesday, we're not really seeing much of a dip in that colder air, and even by Friday when we do, it's just a glancing blow, and we return to that warmer air pretty quickly. What that means for us, though, that's going to give us our next chance for rain. But just like the other ones that I've told you about just every Sunday at this time, they're not worth talking about all that much. They may provide a little bit of light rain. They're not going to get us out of this drought. Our total rainfall through next week is less than impressive, 1/10 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch. There are a couple opportunities Thanksgiving week, but after that, look, temps in the mid to upper 60s, our average high. I said 57 degrees. We're way above that the next few days. Not threatening records anymore, but even when we drop back down, we're still close to average, and we don't drop that much, and we don't see too many raindrops either.
We're on the move, recognizing National Crash Responder Safety Week. It's time to talk about the simple steps all of us can take to keep responders and the public safe around traffic accidents. Last year, more than 54,000 crashes were reported on Missouri roads that required emergency attention. And MoDOT emergency responders, on average, responded to more than 4,500 traffic incidents each month.
Anytime there are responders out on the roadway, whether they are highway workers, law enforcement, tow truck operators, other drivers, contractors, construction crews, your safety and theirs depend on your focus and attention to driving.
Just last week, 3 workers were hurt when a driver plowed through a construction zone at Newhalls Ferry south of Purcell Road, and 1 worker was seriously injured. The driver was arrested for allegedly driving under the influence. Missouri's Move Over law requires drivers to either change lanes or slow down when approaching a roadside emergency or construction zone. Break the law, and you could spend up to a year in jail and get fined $2,000. Okay, here are 3 of the busier active construction zones you might come across this next week. Lane closures start on 44 between Poplar and Cass, going eastbound earlier in the week, closures westbound later in the week. Also, that ramp from MLK Lumiere Place will be closed for the week. And then 170 at 270 up north. That project's been going on for a while, should end by the end of the year. And 55 at Germania. Be careful around there, as well as on Loughborough at 55. And remember, when approaching an accident or a roadside emergency, slow down, move over. It's the law. Halka, 5 on your side.
A $25 refund could be sitting in your inbox. Tonight, our Verify team exposes whether it's a Shutterfly scam or the real deal. Tonight, our Verify team is looking into an email sent to Shutterfly customers claiming they're eligible for $25 off their next purchase. Brandon Lewis tells us if it's legit.
Shutterfly is a popular website for printing pictures or designing other photo-related items. It's also known for frequently offering coupons on its products. Several people on social media said they received this email claiming they were eligible for a Shutterfly voucher from a class action lawsuit and want to know if it's legit. So, let's verify. Our sources are Shutterfly, court records, and class action claims administrator Analytics Consulting. In 2022, a Shutterfly customer filed a class action lawsuit accusing the website of tricking customers into believing that they are receiving a discount on their purchases. Shutterfly maintains it did nothing wrong, but agreed to give customers who made purchases between April 1st, 2018 and August 25th, 2023, a voucher worth up to $25 off their next Shutterfly purchase. Claims administrator Analytics Consulting began emailing eligible customers about the settlement last week. Legitimate emails will come from Rivali v. Shutterfly LLC and contain a unique claim number and PIN at the bottom. So, yes, these emails about a Shutterfly class action lawsuit are legit. If you're still unsure whether the email is real or didn't get an email, you can file a claim online at sfdiscountsettlement.com. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
And if there's a claim you would like us to verify, send an email to verify@ksdk.com. We'll be right back. Tonight, more than 1 billion people around the world are celebrating Diwali, or the Festival of Lights. Earlier today, the Magic House in Kirkwood took part in one of India's most important holidays. Artists held workshops to help promote Indian history and culture. Diwali is a 5-day festival celebrating the victory of light over darkness. And there you have it, a delayed edition of 5 on Your Side at 10. Don't forget to start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. And now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.